Have you ever felt like you don't fit in with the world around you, even though you seem to have everything? That is often the first sign of a special journey that few recognize. Let's explore Carl Jung's perspective on why those with fewer friends are not necessarily loners, but rather souls who are awakening, seeking true connections, and diving deeper into self-discovery. As social life becomes draining and uncomfortable due to shallow relationships, those with fewer friends begin to realize something profound. Not all of us find value in casual conversations. They see the falseness in relationships, and this is what keeps them from continuing to engage in such environments. They not only notice people wearing masks, but they also sense manipulation, backhanded comments, and selfish calculations that people sometimes use to serve their own interests. These individuals cannot tolerate this dishonesty because, for them, it's not a true relationship, but merely a superficial facade. They realize that shallow relationships not only hurt others, but also harm themselves. Each interaction with such people drains their energy, leaving them feeling exhausted and lifeless. They begin to understand that this superficiality doesn't just consume energy, but also makes them feel like they are living in a world where people don't truly see one another. Instead of trying to seek acceptance in such environments, they choose to step away and protect themselves from these shallow connections. Not because they don't need relationships, but because they need genuine connections, where each conversation is sincere, and each friend truly understands and values them for who they truly are. The reason could be that they cannot engage in conversations that revolve around superficial topics. They don't seek satisfaction from casual chats, but rather true, deep connections, where people can understand one another without needing to prove anything. Social gatherings no longer hold meaning because they cannot find sincerity in those relationships. But that doesn't mean they are deprived of affection or lacking in connection. On the contrary, they often have a rich inner world and a depth of emotion. They understand that true friendship is not based on quantity, but quality. They are not looking for approval from the crowd, but rather meaningful connections, deep relationships that do not require external validation. As shallow relationships become burdensome, those with fewer friends begin to become more aware of the difference between having many friends and building real connections. They no longer seek quantity, but quality in every relationship. They crave deep connections, where there is understanding and genuine sharing. Conversations go beyond surface-level exchanges. They become opportunities to exchange emotions, share thoughts, and open up to one another. That's why shallow encounters or socially driven relationships can never make them feel fulfilled. They don't care about being part of large social circles just to be present. They are not seeking recognition by showing up at crowded parties. For them, the value of a relationship isn't about how many people call their name, but about the sincerity and understanding they receive from those who truly care and know them. Communication, for them, is not an obligation, but an opportunity to feel, learn, and grow. This may make them feel a bit lonely in a society where visibility and having many connections are often seen as success markers. But for these individuals, solitude is not a fear or a lack. It is a choice to seek peace of mind. When they are no longer faced with pointless conversations or meaningless encounters, they can dedicate time to nurturing real relationships, those that help them grow and foster a deeper understanding of life. They don't just seek friends to fill space in their lives. They want those who truly understand and share with them. For them, relationships are a tool for self-growth, not just a part of meaningless social gatherings. They are not like others, who can easily and comfortably engage in social interactions. For them, every conversation, every interaction demands a significant amount of energy to maintain focus and connection. Because of this, they often feel exhausted and need time to recover after each social event. This fatigue is not something they can control or easily change. It is part of their nervous system's structure. Every conversation, every encounter, even with close friends, feels like it drains their energy. And it's not because they dislike socializing or don't care about others, but because they are acutely aware of the impact the environment has on them. Therefore, when a person with a sensitive nervous system has to participate in social events, they cannot do so without paying a price. Afterwards, they need time alone, not to avoid people, but to regenerate their energy. This is how they maintain inner peace, so they don't get caught up in the stress and exhaustion of the outside world. This quiet time, often misunderstood as isolation, is actually an important part of helping them reconnect with themselves and restore their balance. For this reason, they don't easily participate in frequent social gatherings. They carefully choose the occasions to socialize, engaging only in relationships and situations they believe will truly add value to their lives. This consideration is not a lack of interest, but a form of self-care and protection, allowing them to conserve their energy and maintain their best mood for life. People with fewer friends often possess a standout characteristic: independence and self-sufficiency. They don't seek validation from others, nor do they feel the need to prove their worth through the gaze or words of society. They know that their true value lies not in external judgment, but within themselves. The ability to solve problems on their own is one of their greatest strengths. When faced with difficulties or challenges, they don't seek help or empathy from others, but instead face them head-on, finding their own way to overcome them. This not only helps them build strength, but also reinforces their trust in their own abilities. They also don't feel deprived of affection or support from society. Although they may not have many friends, they feel fulfilled with their inner world. They have the ability to find joy and peace in moments of solitude. This peace comes from their ability to care for themselves, finding satisfaction and safety within their own soul rather than relying on others. This makes them independent individuals, strong and not easily allowing anyone to enter their personal space. They value freedom and do not want to allow anyone or anything to infringe upon that space. This self-sufficiency helps them maintain emotional stability and lead a healthy life, despite limited engagement with the outside world. Having gone through life's wounds, they have become more cautious when building relationships. They don't easily trust anyone anymore because they know that opening up too quickly can lead to irreparable harm. Every relationship, whether friendship or love, requires time to be tested and developed. For them, trust is not easily earned. They need to feel safe and respected before opening up to someone. This means they don't rush into connecting with others. Relationships must be built on a solid foundation where both parties feel comfortable and understand each other. Only then can true affection and trust bloom. While they may sometimes feel lonely, for them, this solitude is a conscious choice. They are not seeking relationships just to have someone around. Instead, they prioritize peace and the protection of their soul. Relationships to them are not about finding temporary companionship, but about deep, lasting connections that help them grow and maintain emotional stability. They have learned that sometimes solitude is not something to fear, but an essential part of protecting themselves from past wounds. Every relationship must be worthy of the time and energy they invest in it. Carl Jung believed that those with fewer friends do not feel a lack of friendship or social relationships. They have learned that solitude is not a form of punishment or deprivation, but a necessary space for finding inner peace. In a fast-paced, busy world where people seem to constantly chase social connections without ever pausing to reflect on themselves, solitude becomes a precious gift for them. Solitude gives them the space to quiet their minds, to hear their inner voice, and to explore and understand themselves better. It is a time when they can reassess life, redefine their goals and values, and not be influenced by the noise of the outside world. Solitude creates an opportunity for creativity, helping them rediscover passion and energy, free from societal expectations or meaningless relationships. When in solitude, they don't feel lost. On the contrary, it is the time they need to regenerate their energy and connect deeply with themselves. It is this quietude that allows them to see things more clearly, to refresh their soul, and continue on the journey of self-improvement. For them, Solitude is not something to fear, but an essential part of healing and growth. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. You must have realized that true strength does not come from the crowd around you, but from the stillness within. We always need stillness to deeply connect with ourselves, to find peace within. If this resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to continue this journey of exploration and soul growth. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.